Day 13, Self-Love Bomb. Welcome back to Day 13 of How to Meditate. It's good to see all your beautiful faces again. As always, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, John here, and today we learn some self-love. Over the last 13 sessions, I've introduced you to 3 out of the 4 muscle groups of meditation. First, there was concentration, then we explored equanimity, and after that, we learned all about clarity. In today's session, I introduce you to the last muscle, and that's self-compassion. Self-compassion is a muscle that we can practice and develop. And I know this because as a therapist, every day I get a front row seat in witnessing people who are so harsh on themselves. People who are their own biggest critic and struggle with giving themselves even a small ounce of compassion. But the good thing is that with time and over the course of therapy and through consistent work, it gets a little easier. And eventually, even the person who's their own biggest critic can transform into their own biggest fan. Today, we start that same kind of work and deliberately force ourselves to exercise our muscles of self-compassion. So let's get to work. Okay, so you can start by closing your eyes. Get comfortable and just take a few deep breaths in. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. As you breathe in, it's like you're stretching up your spine. And then as you breathe out, it's like you're breathing out any tension within the body. As you continue to breathe, do a body scan and notice if there's any tension within your body. Softening the cheeks, easing the worry lines in the forehead, relaxing both sets of cheeks. Soften the belly. Also, don't forget to relax the shoulders. You're really allowing yourself to sink into the body and relax. See if you can let go of any tightness about this meditation, any judgments you might have. Self-compassion starts with acceptance. So we're going to start this meditation by accepting whatever is going on with us in this moment. We're accepting all the imperfections of our situation, the sounds, the distractions, any annoyances. All of it is allowed to be here. This is equanimity. So this meditation is going to be a bit different. It's more educational, so it's going to involve more instruction from me. It might not be as relaxing as our previous sessions, but instead it's more about learning who you are, and it may be the most important 10 to 15 minutes of your life. So let your home base for this first bit of the meditation be the sound of my voice. Self-compassion can be defined as the ability to avoid mercilessly judging and criticizing yourself, especially in the face of inadequacies and shortcomings. Instead, you're able to be kind and understanding when confronted with your failings. There are 3 components to self-compassion: mindfulness, self-kindness, and common humanity. Over the course of this meditation, we'll break down and explore each component, and we'll start by learning about mindfulness. Mindfulness is something we've been doing every day in this course. When it comes to self compassion, mindfulness is our ability to acknowledge and be aware of what's happening internally. Mindfulness is the acceptance of realism. Self compassion is necessary in moments when we fall short, when we feel like disappointments, and when we fail. Many of us never reach self compassion because we don't allow ourselves to face the uncomfortable feelings that foreshadow our need for self compassion. Mindfulness means that instead of just ignoring our pain, we accept that this is what's going on right now in the present moment, and that I'm going to acknowledge in a sane and mature way that it exists. The instruction is to think of something you're beating yourself up about. Maybe it's a recent disappointment, failure, or shortcoming, and take a second to allow yourself to acknowledge it. So, a critical part of mindfulness is the ability to acknowledge our failure, our shortcomings, and our disappointments without either over identifying or under identifying with it. This means that we don't allow ourselves to be carried away by our negative thoughts and emotions regarding any situation, while also avoiding numbing ourselves in a way that we are unable to acknowledge and reflect on our shortcomings. For the next part of this meditation, I want you to imagine that thing you're beating yourself up about as a leaf. Now I want you to imagine that leaf floating down a river. See this leaf and watch it as you allow it to float past you until it's out of view. The next component of self compassion is self kindness. Self kindness is simply the ability to give yourself the same compassion you'd naturally show a friend that you deeply care about and love. This kindness is extended towards yourself, especially in moments where you're struggling or feeling bad about yourself. Our next instruction is to think about something you're currently beating yourself up about. Maybe it's a mistake you've made or a choice you're disappointed in. And I want you to repeat the phrase in your head, I forgive myself. I'm worthy of forgiveness. If you can think of a better phrase you deem more appropriate for the situation, then no problem. Try this for a bit. Good. So the last component of self-compassion is common humanity. Common humanity is the beautiful recognition that life's challenges are a part of the human experience. Having compassion for ourselves means that you honor and accept your own humanity. Things will not always go the way that you want them to. You will encounter frustrations, you will make mistakes, and you will fall short of your own values and ideals. This is the human condition, a reality shared by all of us. The more you're open to this reality and work with it instead of constantly fighting against it, the more you'll be able to feel compassion for yourself and your fellow humans. Continue to repeat your phrase and strengthen that muscle of caring about yourself. If you get distracted, just return to your phrase. I forgive myself. I'm worthy of forgiveness. If you chose a different phrase, again, that's okay. What's important is that your phrase creates a bit of tenderness in you. Keep going. And finally, drop it all and just take some time to do nothing. That's also a very caring act. Just being here is enough. For a lot of us, self compassion isn't easy. It can feel like weakness or that we're being selfish. But a life devoid of self compassion only makes us even worse for longer. Being our own biggest critic is a complete waste of time. The smarter, more efficient way to go is stopping and telling ourselves, this is really difficult right now. How can I best comfort and care for myself in this moment? Showing yourself compassion is necessary in being able to show compassion towards others. Maya Angelou said it best. I don't trust people who don't love themselves and tell me I love you. Okay, you can open your eyes. I love you. But more importantly, you love yourself. Tomorrow, we'll do a summary of everything we've learned so far in this course. Good practicing with you. God bless.